around your question, you can go ahead.
Okay. Also, I have a theoretical question. What the investigation for you is one method to gather information, or is simply general journalism, and why? And the last question, what's your personal practice to hold investigation step by step? It's not possible to describe.
Okay. Well, I'll start with your third question, my personal take on how you conduct an investigation. I think we all work differently as investigative journalists because we have different skills, we have different weaknesses, we have different strong points. My strong points would definitely be being out there on the field. I'm not scared of taking risks of going to places. I think I'm good at analyzing documents, situations, and events. I can analyze that. I think I'm good at creating sources, making people feel comfortable speaking to me. Because, I mean, you assure them that as an investigative journalist, if someone speaks to you, you will protect them as your source. So I think I'm good at that, assuring people that whatever information that we discuss, it will be kept between us. No one will know where I got the information from. I think that, well, I think definitely there's certain ground rules that each and every investigative journalist needs to follow. And if I could just summarize the ground rules, I would say that the first ground rule is the collection of information. You need to collect information about the subject first. The second thing is you need to confirm if this information is true or not. You need to make certain adjustments if it's not true. You need to go out and get the real information, the true information. Third of all, you must be able to tell the story in a way that's not complicated. Because not a lot of people are going to have the time to read each and every word of your story. So you need to be able to present the story in a clear format. Third of all, I think that you need to state your main case in the story. Why are you writing the story? Why do you think this is a story? Those are the questions that I try to answer in some of my stories, to tell my reader, this is the reason why I'm writing about it. This is the reason why I think you should know about it as the reader. So, I mean, as I said, those are the common, basically, the founding grounds that each and every journalist should go through. But, of course, we all work in different ways. You might not have the same strengths or weaknesses as I have. You might have your own, and you work according to what you feel. Most of the time, it's about just using your gut feeling. You need to be able to tell when a person is lying to you. If a source is lying to you as a journalist, and you think that you are being misled, you need to be able to pick that up. Because if you don't, you're going to go ahead and publish the story, and the information will be false. So I think that you also need to use your own discretion. You need to tell when someone is lying to you, basically.
I know we have already passed the 1 hour, but you're gracious enough to allow us 15 more minutes of your time.
No, that's fine. That's okay.
So,
the first question you asked, how did I get those documents to prove what properties you own? There's something called the deed search, the register of deeds. If someone buys property, it has to be registered. If someone buys a car, it's like buying a car, it has to be registered under your business or under your name. So it's the same with buying a house. And this is public information, it's available, it's in the public domain. Everyone can get access to that. If you can't, as a journalist, there's another option to do it. It's called the Access to Information Act, where you go to court and you apply to get this information and you state the reasons why it's important for you to get this information. But the deed search and the company searches it, well, the deed search and the CIPRO search, Different searches like the company search in South Africa, those are all available for the public. They're in the public domain. You can go to any police officer and ask them, if so-and-so owns the house, you give them the earth number and they tell you this is the house, this is where it is, this is how much it was bought for. So it was not a hassle getting that information. In terms of the more complicated searches, like the program that we were talking about earlier called SearchWorks, you'd have to be a registered member in order to get access to the software. It's not available for everyone in the public domain. So those are more trickier, complicated searches basically. But as a journalist, yes, of course, you can still get access to it. Even though that the normal public, they can't, you as a journalist, that's a privilege for you, you can get access to that.
Okay, thank you. Stefan has a question. We have a few more. I hope we can accommodate them all, but if we can.
Okay. I have a question about investigation journalism and journalistic ethics. I mean, as we know, in investigation journalism, you have to go deeper into setting up the story. But there are ethical issues regarding, I mean, something about the person. You cannot go to that extent. So my question is, how can we manage the ethical and the professional balance when we are doing the investigation journalism?
Okay. I think that in order to maintain the balance between the ethics in journalism and your professional responsibility or duty as a journalist, it's really quite simple for me. You must know where to draw the line. And when I say that, I mean that if the story involves minors, children, that's where I would draw the line. I would not, put their lives out in the public domain. I mean, especially with issues that, I'll first make an example about the Slumlords woman. We knew she had children. We knew where her children went to school, because of the research we had done. But we did not publish anything that had to do with the children. That's where we drew the line. Our subject was her, primarily. So her children and her family situation and where she comes from, or she was divorced or whatever from her husband, that was not relevant to the story. So you must always try and stick to relevance. Yes, I mean, it might make your story, very nice and very juicy, to publish personal information about people. But you need to be able to draw the line, especially when writing one topic. One of the ethical topics that journalists tend to write about is AIDS. When you're writing about people with HIV, you need to be able to, you draw the line. I mean, you cannot publish a person's face in a newspaper and say this person has HIV or this person is AIDS. That is unethical journalism. So you must be able to draw the line. I, as a journalist, as I said, I would never write about, children. I would never write about AIDS victims. I would never publish pictures of, people that had been murdered in such a gruesome way that it would, it would affect people that have sensitive readers, that have a sensitive outlook towards violence and all of that. Yes, as a journalist, I'll stomach it. I can look at such images, but sometimes you need to be able to draw the line and say, maybe we should not publish this image, because there are people out there who will not, respond the same way. They're very sensitive to that kind of thing. But it's a very good question that you raised. Ethics are always part of it. As a journalist, you always be in situations where you have to decide, what is ethical, what is not ethical. And sometimes it just boils down to your own beliefs as a person.
Thank you.
Okay,
That's
excellent.
good. When you're out in the field as a journalist, your editor is not going to tell you what to do. You need to make those decisions yourself.
Gcina, we have at least five more questions. Do you mind if I let them ask and then you can write down their questions and then whenever, if you have still time, you can answer them?
Let's go ahead. That's fine.
Let's just take them all. Anna, right? Then we have Thomas and hi.
Hello again.
Hi.
So my question was about, you said you've been threatened by them. I was wondering, is it kind of slumlords situation? Is it like a lot of people? Because it obviously wasn't the only one who knows things you've been talking about. And another question was, have you been publishing anything, any information about that story before, while this 2 months, like maybe some blog? Because obviously it might help you with getting more information. Also, it's dangerous to, other people will know and your story went to huge. So that's my question.
Okay.
We have Thomas.